Round of the hand.
We could have homes on separate coasts, go dive in Greece with squids. Could have been so bleeping rich, but instead we had kids. They won't smile for a photo, they won't eat the food we choose. That's why we're heading to the parents' lounge to drown ourselves in booze. Every day we're more exhausted, we haven't slept in years. They hit me in the nuts so bad, my eyes filled up with tears. And yes, we'd like to fake our death and go off of the grids, but the truth is we are softies and we truly love our kids. So join us every Tuesday night to laugh at all our pain. Evening in the parents' lounge is the cure to staying sane.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Hi, everybody, how's it going?
Hi.
Was that your Fat Albert impression?
No, that
Hey,
was I thought we were all heightening.
That's a real deer head.
My Fat Albert impression is, here, drink this.
Nowadays, if you made Fat Albert, people will go, hey, man, that's so not cool. Yeah. Albert has feelings. He's a person. And sure, he's weight challenged, but
no, they'd
he's
say
being himself and he's good and he's
body positive Albert.
Yeah, he's body positive Albert.
Yeah.
Now he would just be Albert who's prone to diabetes. That's it. That's the extent of how far we'd go with Fat Albert. By the way, we shouldn't even talk about the fact that the voice of Fat Albert and the creator of Fat Albert had some issues of his own.
Well, that was Kate. That was Kate's joke.
It was my joke. I said my impression of Fat Albert is, here, drink this.
Oh, I didn't even know. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Hey, Kayla, look up.
Let me go back in time and say that's a great joke.
Thank you.
Here. See how this tastes, and good night.
And good night.
And see you in the morning.
Ooh. Did you guys watch that documentary? Not to get political, but did you guys watch that Cosby documentary?
No, we're not getting political. No.
But... No, I'm joking. Obviously, talking about Bill Cosby's not political at all. Did you guys watch that documentary, though?
No.
I didn't. The word you're looking for is controversial.
Yeah, not political. It's tough. It's a tough watch. If you suspected it was going to be a tough watch, you are correct. It's a tough watch.
Is the heat out in your house, Kate?
What'd you say?
Is the heat out in your house?
I don't put the heat on because it's the Kayla, you know this to be true about LA. Eddie, you probably do as well.
I do.
It does not get cold here ever. It gets cold at the night and it gets cold in the mornings. And then during the day, it's still 75 or 80 degrees. So I can never wear a sweater or a hat. So I never turn my heat on.
What is cold to LA?
Right now, like my house is 61 degrees.
Oh, it's 25 here.
It's pretty cold.
We put the heat on with the kids.
I don't put the heat on. No.
Make your kids sit through 61 degrees.
What do you think they are dressed as right now?
That's super. Actually, 61 is pretty cold. Let's be honest.
No.
61.
No, 25 is cold, Jamie Killer. 25.
In a house where people are like walking around in shorts and a t-shirt. 61.
They're not walking around in shorts. That's literally my point. They're not walking around in shorts and a t-shirt. This is when we get to wear our long jammies. Otherwise, when are you going to wear your long jammies?
I have to come clean with you guys. Something's happened tonight. I have to be honest with all of you. So for Thanksgiving, we got invited someplace, and you have to bring something typically. And so each year I go to this person's house, I make the cocktails. And so the first year for Thanksgiving, I found apple smashes. It's a delicious cocktail. I think you would all enjoy it very much. It's bourbon with some lemon juice, some honey, some apple cider, little nutmeg, and some cinnamon stick as a garnish and stuff. And so I bought all the ingredients tonight because I'm making it for Thursday. I muddled apples. I just mashed them down and made like an apple mash. But I have to be honest with you. We taste tested it.
Not good.
Uh-oh.
No, it's fantastic. But we had We had a couple of apple smashes before the show.
Oh, you're trying
How
to
is
give
that
a
any
disclaimer.
different
Are there
than any other Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, because I started 90 minutes before the show. Typically,
Okay.
I start right at showtime.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Are
to
there any
me,
apple
this
smashes
show-
left for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
No, I drank them all. So now I got to go rebuy the whole
Oh
thing.
wow, you have to re-smash.
And
Oh,
I
man.
have to smash again. I have to smash mouth again.
Well, I also, you guys is this confession hour? Okay, I'll go
Yeah.
next.
What do you got? What do you got?
I'm back on the sauce.
So California sobers now. California not so sober.
Not sober.
Hmm.
I don't want to be drinking on a weeknight, but it's the first. My kids had school today, but they don't have school the rest of the week. And I don't know if you guys know this. My husband went away to visit his family and for a friend's wedding. He was gone Wednesday night until last night. So I was flying solo all weekend. I took the kids to Legoland by myself. I took the kids
Ooh.
to
How
the
was
San
that?
Diego. I took my kids to the San Diego Zoo by myself. And I just found I found out about myself. I'm like a white knuckler. Like I'm really good in a crisis. I'll get through anything, and then as soon as it's over, I'll effing
As
collapse.
somebody who went to Disneyland with you during the Haunted Mansion, you were not great in a crisis.
Well, I mean, like over like the pandemic. I'm gonna just drink through it, and once it's over, I'm gonna really process what was lost. So I gotta tell you, by the way, what he's referring to, that there was like a real trample situation at the Haunted Mansion when we were there. Anyway, I got through the weekend fine. I was single mom. We're going on an adventure. We're having fun. I'm doing it all by myself. I'm figuring out once I check into a hotel, how do I get the luggage out of the car? We already got the kids in it. Like I'm figuring it all out. I did it great. And I've literally today been like, I need drinks. I need to collapse. I need to not do anything. So I'm coming off of hour 3 of Zelda Breath of the Wild and a margarita.
I feel like that's well-deserved, Kate.
Thank you.
Do you ever notice sometimes how if both parents are there, they're like, we don't, let's just hang out. Let's not do anything today. And we'll sit around, watch TV, do absolutely nothing. And then the one time, Kate, I do the exact same thing. It's almost like I'm proving a point. Like when Kate's out of town, she's like, "Oh, how'd the weekend go?" "Oh, you're not going to believe it. We went to Legoland.
Yeah.
And then I took them to space. We went into space, and then we performed surgery on a homeless person, and then I landed a plane.
That part was weird, Kate.
Yeah, good. But you ever
It was
notice
an emergency. It was an emergency.
Parents are home sometimes. You're like,
There's that apple
We were with
smash
you in
going on.
space.
The apple smash took over. But sometimes when one spouse is alone with the kids, there's a diabolical mindset of like, oh, I'm going to teach that other person not to go.
Well, you know what's funny? I didn't actually have that mindset, but he won't go to theme parks with us, or if he does, he's kind of a drag. So this was my chance. I was like, oh,
I knew I liked Dickie very much.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Every time somebody goes, here's my wife. So she got through work, one of their little like weird bonuses that comes through work is a $500 gift card at Disneyland. It's just a free $500.
One person can go. That's amazing.
So she goes, hey, she took a photo of it the other day and texted me. She goes, hey, we need to use this. And I go, yeah, perfect. So instead of spending $2,500, we can spend $2,000.
Yeah.
I go, it's a lure. They're luring you in.
It's a lure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like $500 at Disney is like, that's lunch, I think.
It's lunch.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Roughly.
Listen, I love, if it was fun, it'd be great, but every ride is
fun.
like 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh, I'm not talking Disney. Well, let me ask Eddie.
For a 3-minute, like a 90-second ride, for a 90-minute wait for a 90-second ride.
I'm sorry, Walter Matthau. Please let Eddie talk.
Sorry, thank you.
Listen, I will say I purposefully did not do Disney because I just can't. I can't right now. Like the kids are just not appreciative of that. It's way too much money. Legoland was perfect. Eddie, are you a theme park guy?
I am a theme park guy, yes.
Eddie, do you, when my husband goes out of town, want to come to a theme park with me?
I will absolutely go to any theme park with you.
Well, he'll go to a theme
I
park.
will say she's a lot of fun at a theme park.
Yeah.
I'm so much fun at theme parks. We do everything at theme parks. We drop so much money at theme parks.
I mean, by the
It's
way,
insane.
name something better
But
than
we only have
Rise of the
one,
Resistance.
so.
Yeah.
Greatest ride ever created.
Of all time. It's not a ride. It's an
Of all time.
experience.
I'm
It's
not
a
even a Star Wars
life-changing
person, and I will
experience.
give you that. I will give you
It's a
that.
life-altering experience.
Yeah. Here's what the only thing I can compare it to is when I played Vader Immortal on the Oculus, and Vader
Oh.
stood in front of me, and
That's dope.
I actually cried. I was like, he's so tall. He's so tall. Like to just like have him there and be like,
I always wondered what I'd say if I ever met him.
If I ever met
coming to mind.
Stephanie Hansen has a really good point with how expensive Disney has gotten. I don't know who Disney is for anymore. It's definitely not for the average family. Couldn't agree more. I do feel like, is it possible, do families go into debt over getting their kids to a Disney vacation?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
You would
sure.
have to.
Absolutely.
Every
Kaylor,
Christmas, people go bankrupt. Yeah, it's
really?
crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
What you have to do, you have to
It's,
find someone
what
who
I
works
just did-
there that can get you guys in free.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
the secret.
I know the silver pass, gold pass, what's it called? When you're a
Something like
Disney
that. Well,
employee?
I had that for
Yeah.
a while. I had a friend who worked at Disney, and we got free tickets. And it was like, I didn't understand how much. He's like, oh, yeah, you're all set. Like 7 of us went.
Oh, that's a
That's
$1,500.
usually you can
Walmart
only get
in-laws,
4
and
in.
he got us all in. And it was like 7 plus me, so it was like 8 people. And I was like, yeah, oh, yeah, thank you, man. And then years later, I was like, oh wow, that was like a new car. You gave me a
That's
new
huge.
car.
You gave me
Yeah.
a new car. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Taylor, you got to get on like an ABC family show because then you'll get a pass. Could you do that?
It's funny. It's a long story. I was going to do a Disney Channel show and I didn't do it. But in the back of my head, I was like, oh, I'd probably get some Disney things.
There you go.
What's everybody doing for the holidays? Is anybody else Apple smashing it?
I mean, obviously, we're all coming over to your place to have some apple smashes before you go to your friends.
It's pretty good. I put honey in it and muddled that. Oh, it's like, it was pretty good. And then, so we lit up the karaoke again. So I've set up the karaoke. So the girls right now, that's why I was running late, is because the girls were doing Grease Lightning and then a Dua Lipa song, which was the lyrics were way more provocative than I had thought they were. And seeing God for a 9-year-old to be talking about her honeydew. But yeah, she did a great job and it came out okay.
See, I'm going to hang out with Jobo on Thanksgiving because cranberry margarita he spoke all of my languages.
You know what? That's actually, so I Googled the first year I went to this guy's house. He's like, just bring drinks. And so I Googled what's a good Thanksgiving drink. And it was apple smash, which is bourbon and apple and shenanigans. But I think a cranberry margarita might be up for next year. That's actually a great call, Jobo.
It's a great call.
I trust Jobo to make the call. On that.
People are asking where the mustache is, apparently.
I know you look so baby-faced again.
I know. I took it off. I had a job where I did stuff with the America's Funniest Video guys again, which is so much fun.
Does that mean Alfonso Ribeiro?
He's on the TV one. I've ended up doing a bunch of the streaming services stuff with Indabona Productions, and it's super fun. And we went and shot this crazy Christmas special. That was a bunch of clips, and I had this giant Wyatt Earp mustache, and the guy was super cool. He was like, "Yeah, you could, yeah, okay." And I was like, "You know what? I'll take it off." He goes, "Oh yeah, maybe,
oh, sure, you can, yeah, for
Wyatt
sure."
Earp, and it was like, even my wife was like, seriously, you have got to get rid of that. People are going to arrest you as a pedophile. This is really bad."
Oh, that's terrible that's a mustache because, like, technically, Eddie and Jason both have them. They just happen to be attached to a beard.
Hey, can we take 1 second to honor a young man who had a weekend that was gruesome beyond belief, where I don't think a lot of people who are parents would understand exactly what went on. And I'm talking, of course, of Jason. Buddy, do you want to tell everyone how your insane weekend went of sickness?
Yeah, I was down for the count with sick twins and a wife who doesn't handle chaos or calamity well at all. So a crisis does not suit her. And the twins were crying and had high fevers, and I also had a high fever and chills.
What was it? It wasn't RSV?
We don't know. It wasn't COVID. I tested 3 different times, but it was. I mean,
you know, it doesn't. But you always put it in your butt. Did you actually test in your nose this time?
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
It probably was COVID.
It's
buddy.
good. If you stick it in your ass, it's always going to come out negative. That's just
going to be negative.
That's just the science of it all.
It's just.
I talked to him
first.
a couple times over the weekend, and each time I was like, "Dude, you alive?" He's like, "I don't know." It's such a whispery little.
Oh, Jason.
He was like one of those little, like if you opened a child's music box, and you were like, "Hey, are you sick?" And it was like, "I don't think I am." It was so sad and pathetic.
I'm doing the best I can, Jamie. I'm just
Honestly, here's what's crazy is like I had a shitty weekend too, but nothing like him. So I would call him it seemed like I was checking in on him, but in reality, I was just like making myself feel better to go, oh, at least I'm not dealing with what he's dealing with. And I would be like, all right, brother, have fun. Okay, go back.
I mean, anything with twins is worse. If you're sick, if they both get vaccinated for anything, I'm not talking COVID. I'm just saying like anything with 2 kids is worse than like, there's no question it's worse than 1.
He was serious.
They tandem vomited all over me at the same time. It was one of the worst moments.
Eddie tasted that. I could see Eddie tasting it.
Yeah.
By the way, hey, kudos to them.
You turn to get away from one, and then you get hit with the other one.
To have them vomit in sync, that's amazing. That's a skill. That's pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Logan started first, and when he did it, I don't know if Anthony just had a weak stomach and it was already kind of there, but it like
the Stand By Me moment.
It just flooded. Like it was like dueling exorcists. It was just not. It wasn't fun.
Narcolepsy 27 says it best. Tandem vomit is not the show to get tickets for.
I would disagree. If you are into like any sort of psychedelic color fest, I think it would have been really trippy for you.
Ugh. Those poor babies.
Let me ask you right now, if you watch 2 like tandem skaters, guy and a girl, and they had this amazing routine, and you were like, oh my God, it was a triple axel, and they flipped and they came, and just when they landed, they both vomited exactly at the same moment to close the routine.
10 out of 10.
I give it 10. Yeah.
No question.
And they looked at each other and they went, now. Oh my God, that would be arguably.
And it meets and then just fountains out.
You have just given me an idea for their Halloween costumes. I'm going to make
the Bellagio fountain. It goes up into it like it forms in the shape of an elephant.
I am now going to make the twins be Will Ferrell and
Ice dancers.
John Heder
from Blades. John Heder from Blades of Glory for Halloween.
Wait, can I just say, my friend today, I did not realize this was her costume, but my friend went as the front of a human centipede for Halloween. All I'm gonna say is, consider it for the boys. You have 3 of them.
He went just as the front person.
She and she attached a head to her ass. And then like a body, and then she
dragged it around the whole night. Oh, that's gold. That's
I will send you the picture right now. Oh my God, she's such a genius.
That's genius. That's
really was. Anyway, you've got twins, Jason. Make it work.
You're winning some costume contests with that. That's pretty great. So let's check in with our guest for this evening.
Yes, Eddie Pence.
Who's basically the other panelist that we've always had. He's our other partner in crime. Eddie Pence is here from, of course, the Ralph Report and
hey guys,
Gold. How are you, brother?
I'm good.
Ralph Report, for those of you who don't know, is a fantastic show with Ralph Garman.
We're good. We were supposed to do a live podcast at Flappers last Saturday, but Ralph got COVID on Thursday
Oh
before.
no.
We had to cancel the show. It sucked because we were sold out and everything. So, and then we're off all this week because he's still recovering. So it's been a rough week and a half. But
Well, that stinks. That
Yeah, it
stinks.
I also,
Yeah.
it's so surprising that people, I mean, I know people are still getting COVID, but it's very fun. It's like, whoa, that's okay. That's still happening. I mean,
it happened, and it knocked him on his ass. Like he really got for like 3 days. He had it bad.
Had
I'm
he had
telling
it
you,
before?
I've had it in May. It was
No,
not
I
fun.
don't think he'd ever had it before.
See, okay, so here's the deal. Everyone who's getting it in the since summer never had it before.
Yeah.
Did you notice that at all?
That's what I completely concur.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying like that's everybody that I've talked to. My friend Elaine, who was avoided at this whole entire time, had it 2 weeks ago. And I was like, but that's because you never got it. I had it in May of this year and I'm still somehow unmasked and living life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think eventually you got to get it. It's like
At some point, I would imagine.
You got to get it.
Eddie, you haven't had it?
I haven't had it yet.
Eddie!
I've missed it every time.
Some people, I think genetically, well, let's not talk about COVID.
But anyway, I'm at my in-laws' house, and this is my father-in-law's office.
Are you traveling? Where are you?
He's got a deer head. He's also in the Secret Service. There's all his badges from the Secret Service.
Wait, is that real? Is that real?
Yeah.
Wait.
It's like a Meet the Parents Robert De Niro situation here.
Wait.
What?
What kind of background checks were run on you, do you think?
I don't know.
I mean, you must.
There were some checks done.
By the way, if you get badges, it's not that secret of a service, is it then?
Not really. He was. We have an inauguration poster. There's money because he was in the Treasury. You know, because Secret Service was part of the Treasury Department at one point. So we have a big sheet of money on the wall.
What?
They're
very
T-men. They're not G-men. They're T-men.
Yeah, they were. Now I think they're under a different category, but they used to be part of the Department of Treasury.
Nowadays, they love to party, man. Those guys party hard.
They do. They do like to party.
Eddie, you are a person of mine. I am not being shady when I say this, but when your now wife,
yes,
was dating you,
yes,
and goes to her bigwig father and says, "I'm dating this guy. He's a comedian and actor."
What happened was Tracy and I had known each other since high school, so they knew me when I was in high school.
Okay.
We didn't start dating until years later, so they'd known me since I was a kid. So that's why I think I kind of got.
Oh, so you were vetted beforehand.
Yes.
Wow.
I got vetted as a youth. I wasn't.
Okay.
Well,
I wasn't some new guy coming in.
Your high school days, then. How were your high school days?
High school days was pretty fun. Trace and I were just friends in high school, and then we were friends in college. Then I moved out to California. She moved out to California.
Wait, you guys went to college together?
No, as friends, we didn't date. We've always been friends.
Which college did you go to?
Virginia Tech.
Okay. Yes.
So you went to high school. Where was the high school?
Chantilly, Virginia.
Okay, so you
Northern Virginia.
Where is
you went
your
to high school together? You were buddies, friends.
Yeah.
And you go to college, because when you go to college from high school, there's only a handful of people, maybe. Or how many people went to Virginia Tech?
A lot of people in Virginia. I grew up in Northern Virginia, which is a suburb of DC, basically. And a lot of people from my high school either went to James Madison, UVA, or Virginia Tech. Like they kind of went to those main Virginia schools. So a handful of us went to Virginia
UNH Tech. For me. A third of my high school class went to UNH.
Yeah, that's
they all partied up there together, but I didn't.
So she knows everyone you slept with in college.
Mm-hmm.
She was friends with them all.
And vice versa.
So. She knew both of those girls?
All 1.5.
1.5 girls.
Not a half.
One was a doll. It doesn't really.
And one was a blow up doll. She knew that one. And so you went to listen. Even in college, like partying, drunk, you guys never hooked up.
No, she was actually in high school. She dated my best friend in high school, I was the best man at his wedding.
That happened.
He was in my wedding party. It was very incestuous. But we were just friends for literally 10 years, and then she moved out to California, and we started dating.
What changed? What made you look at her in a way that was not you're my pal from high school.
She finally said yes.
Yeah.
She consented.
We'd always got it's fine without the drink.
Yeah.
He Steve Urkel it. He just was relentless.
He's
you
Stefaned it.
You wear him down. It's like a wave on the rocks. You just keep going.
Is that me? Is that the line? What does he say?
Nope.
Did I do that?
Did I do that?
Did
But
I
we were
do
gonna let you have it until you ask.
Okay, so really quick, out of all the Family Matters, the episodes, hundreds of them, I have seen 0 of them. I never saw one.
They were really, really.
They were good.
integral in my
TJ
childhood.
Friday was the best.
Yeah, it really was.
Did
Eddie, I really can't get over this story because I am I don't know. I've always thought like, oh, when you find your person, like, instantly.
I mean, we were always friends, and we obviously got along, and we had fun together. And it was just like, I think we both found each other attractive, but we just never considered that part because she had dated my friend, and
Dude,
I was.
Come on, man! You're in college. Are you? This is.
No, I'm talking about
bullshit.
high school. I'm talking about high school.
I know, but even so, high school is one thing where you both want to. That's high school is everybody wants to.
Well, I don't even think we saw
Nobody
each other.
does,
Yeah.
except for a few of us who kind of were like, "Hey, you can do this. No one's going to jail."
No,
Then you get to
right.
college and you go, "Hey, we want to do this, and we're all going to do it." That was
Yeah.
college.
Yeah. Hey, we just never.
I
We
had
always
friends
were
from high
friends.
school who came to college who then we.
Yeah.
You
Right.
did magic tricks,
But you didn't.
We did some magic tricks, but yes, of course, dude. I mean, listen. Here's what's crazy: if you don't get it done in college, I'm so confused as to why later, years later, you're like, "Yeah, we should do it now." Like,
Well,
I think it was
everybody's like, "We should do this now."
Like I said, I moved out to California, and a year later she moved out, and we just were hanging out, and we were enjoying each other's company. And maybe it's because we were finally isolated, where it was just us, and there wasn't other people around that knew us.
Yeah.
And we felt more comfortable
Yeah,
going
yeah.
for it, I guess, is a way. Otherwise, we were always around a group of friends, and it always felt awkward. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I
know what you're
follow.
saying.
I completely
Was
follow.
it weird? It must have been so weird the first time because it's someone you've known for a long time.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
it
the
was
opposite of weird. It's the most comfortable, easiest.
Very
No,
comfortable. Like, and there's also.
I disagree. I think it's odd because you've known this person for so long that all of a sudden you're like, I'm inside you.
Okay, well, you guys, the apple smash.
That's exactly what I whispered to her for the first time.
So
too,
how
which was
bitter?
really-
How bitter were these apples you smashed?
They're really good. I'll make you some.
This is
Don't you
my
hey, listen, Mulligan, don't you ever go like, it's just to me, listen, I love sex, but isn't sex like the weirdest thing where you're like, all of a sudden you're like, this is weird. Weird. But if you know somebody for all these years and all of a sudden then you go, hey, some things are gonna happen right now.
There was no apples in those apple smashes, were there? It was just all smashes.
It was 100% smash.
All smash. It's just pure.
But here's the thing. It's not the same situation as Eddie, but I was a virgin till very late. So I did not start having sex until I was a junior in college. And then I made up
tried to make up for it by then just to
then I'm saying I did go back. I did go back to those guys that I had crushes on in high school and it was not weird. It was like, finally, like it just felt like, oh man, because it was something I wasn't acting on at the time when we could have. So when I rounded the corner and went back for it, it was like, whew.
I know. I feel like had I gone back to like my 10-year reunion, I could have done some serious damage. But
okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that too much?
I'm inside all of you.
Don't you feel like that sometimes? And all of a sudden you're like, hey, I just met you 2 hours ago, and you're like, I'm inside of you.
I just have never actually said that in particular. I think that might just be a me thing.
But sometimes they say it to me. They go, "I'm inside of you," and I go, "Whoa, back up!"
What's that song from Saving Sarah or Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Inside of you,
I didn't know that.
inside of you.
Eddie saying I'm inside of all of you was really.
Come on, guys. Hey, listen. Listen, this is the Thanksgiving show.
It's
We're
the
all, listen, everybody let your guard down.
Yeah.
Have an apple smash. It's
Wait, so Eddie,
This
you're
might
back
be
on
my
the East
favorite
Coast.
episode we've ever done. Actually,
You're back on the East Coast in a Secret Service
Well,
gentleman.
I'm in San Francisco. I'm actually
San
up in
Francisco.
Nevada, California. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I love.
So it's
San
like
Francisco.
45 degrees. It's really cold.
That's like a watchmaker. Nevada. That's
Nevada.
All right, let's talk about the holidays. What's everybody doing for the holidays? My kids actually had school this week. They had a half
You
day.
just said Mike 3 times, but you were trying to say my kids. Got it with you now.
Mike.
Mike,
My kids
Mike,
had school.
Mike.
My
kids had school this week too.
They'd have
Really?
Yeah, today and
Mine
yesterday.
were off all week.
It's because we had conferences all last week, so they were shortened scheduled. So we were.
Jason's still going till tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, it's ideal.
I was
Ideal.
informed late this morning but via the school's messaging system to remind her that the twins would be getting out early today, which I was not expecting. So I got extra afternoon time with the twin terrorists, which was.
Wait a minute, they were so sick this weekend, but they were back at school today?
I don't want them here.
Honest answer. It was a really honest answer.
They weren't allowed.
Look, if it comes down to me,
on the doorstep.
or-
You put them on the steps of the school for like the morning.
Well, they're like they really are like gremlins. Like they like bang on the windows and stuff when they get to the school now. Like, let us in, let us in.
They were like a
God.
really great reference in the 80s.
Mulligan.
Well, that's it for Kate for this week. Ain't you ever mind?
No, she's gone.
What
is she? Is
So
she gone?
Eddie, you had the whole week off with the kids. What did you do?
We drove up here yesterday.
Now your boy's bigger.
No.
He's
Yeah,
older.
He's
you just
13.
You have an
13.
older son who's just a normal person.
He's almost a man now. He's
Yeah,
13.
It's crazy.
He's almost
He's
as
a
tall
cool
as I am.
kid. He's a great artist. He's a wonderful actor. We know him well.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good cat.
But it's
dude.
weird. I feel like I don't have a little kid anymore. It's like I have an adult now almost. And it just feels I don't have the same trials and tribulations you guys are still going through.
Well, I'm
you
9
miss
and
it?
7, so I'm actually starting to move into your world more so. That's why when I call Jason and I see how horrible his life is, it kind of makes me laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
You
I
do
miss
laugh
it.
like
I do miss
a
it.
lot.
I laugh a lot. Yeah, of course I do. Yes, Jason.
It's funny. I feel like I always hear people say like, "Oh, I miss that age. I miss that age." But I love every age my kids have been at. And like the truth is, if my husband had tried to leave for 6 days or 5 days when I had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, it would have been a much different story than this weekend was. Like it's very easy now to take my 5-year-old and my 7-year-old like in a 3-hour car ride to San Diego.
Yeah.
And do stuff. I mean, it's just I just feel like I wouldn't I loved them as babies, but I wouldn't when people are like, "Oh, I would go back." I'm like, I actually would
I
not.
don't think I'd go back. I
Yeah.
just really enjoyed him as a kid. I had a lot of fun. And especially around the holidays, you miss that time when it was still magic.
Yes.
Like you guys are probably still in the magic time of the holidays.
Yes.
That's done for,
So we
Yeah.
the twins have now been to a birthday party where they saw other kids open presents and they were very excited about it. So I know this year when they are given the presents, they are going to just lose it.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big year for us for Christmas.
That's so sweet.
yeah.
We it's funny because the magic is starting to work against me where like my son Neil, who's the 7-year-old, asked for something and I was like, "Ugh, you know what? That's actually just too expensive." He's like, "Oh, I'll put it on Santa's list then." And I was
Yeah.
like,
That happened.
He's like, because money's not an issue.
He's got a high credit limit. Santa does.
Yeah, he's got perfect credit.
Doesn't really matter.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay."
That's so funny.
So there's part of me that wants to be like, "All right, here's the deal." I know
We
you're
did
a
that
little
this
young
year.
for this reveal.
We did that this year.
You did.
What was that like?
He was 13, right? So my wife and I were like, we got to tell him. Because he's such a wonderfully innocent child.
Wait,
Still
he
very
didn't
kid-like
know
and
by
still-
13?
he knew, but he didn't want to be told.
That's
okay.
this
Like
is,
I'm okay
he
with
figured
that.
it
I was
out,
this kid.
but he didn't
Yes.
want to be told because
Yes,
he was
I
still
this
trying to
kid.
make himself believe.
Also,
And
I
so we
I
finally-
remember people telling me, and I was like, my parents wouldn't lie to me. You guys are lying. Like, not the case.
I do remember
Yeah.
when I found out, and I remember thinking, this is a drag. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like we talked about ghost hunting or something. Somebody was saying, you know, do you believe in ghosts? And I go, it's just more fun to believe in
Yeah.
things. And so when you lose that belief in something, it takes the fantasy aspect out of
And
the whole thing.
you can still believe in it, even though you deep down inside you know it not to be true. You can still believe until someone tells you it's not.
Yeah.
And you're like, now it's gone.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And that's where he was with it. And I was just like, especially with the last 2 years of the pandemic, and he was home, so we kind of like we fed into it because we were going to be like, when he gets to middle school, that's when we're going to end it. After 5th grade, we're going to end it. But then we were locked at home for a year and a half. Like, why give him that? Why throw that onto that?
Yes,
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
no.
So that's why we're like, we'll just feed into it. And then this year was like, seriously, he's got to know now. And then,
Yeah.
but he'd figured it out. He just didn't want to be told. And once you're told, it's over. You know?
I was
What-
worried with Jace going to school that he would hear it because I mean that's coming because
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
always that douchebag at school that says it way too early.
Not
Oh,
at
Colton got
6,
that in
though.
kindergarten. He was getting in kindergarten and 1st grade. Colton.
Yeah, I heard it in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
What?
But he didn't.
Wow.
But he would ask me, he's like, Dad, is that true? And I would, of course, I didn't want to ruin it for him at that age. So I'd be like, if you believe in it, it's true. And then that was enough for him.
Ugh.
I asked him. We were shopping, and I asked Jace. I said, how do you feel about Santa? Do the kids at school believe in Santa? And he looked at me like I had asked the most ridiculous question that he'd ever heard, and he's like, everyone believes in Santa.
You
I was like-
heathen.
Then he let go of your collar and you drifted back.
And I said, and we are safe for another year.
Wait, Travis Gilbert, is this real? My oldest asked one day if Santa was real. I asked if he really wants to know, and he goes, I Googled it. I know. If you Google it, does it actually give you the answer?
Oh,
don't
I'm
know.
sure it must.
Well, or does it, or I would imagine Google would slip something in like the
I'm
magic
sure some
is
dick
real.
got on Wikipedia and
Yeah,
just let the truth out.
There's probably a YouTube video tutorial where a guy's like, "Hey, really quick before I get into whether there's a Santa or not, make sure you subscribe, follow
Click that,
me,
smash
if you
that
can,
like
leave a
button."
comment, and if you could share on your page. Now let's get into, is Santa real? Okay, there's a lot of questions about, and that's like a 12-minute video. Like, I feel like this should be like it should be pretty quick.
Jamie, if you don't make that video this holiday
That would be
season, I'm going to be
By the way,
very
that would be
disappointed.
super. Hey, everybody, just want to check in. So if you're wondering, is it real? Here's the breakdown.
And then give no answer after 12 minutes.
I think after 12 minutes, you go,
Subscribe to part 2.
no, I think he's real. I think after 12 minutes, you go, feels real to me. Okay, people, make sure you subscribe. Please like, follow, because listen, I got to make some money. Scientific analysis.
Oh, that's what happens when you Google it. Thank you, Rudy. Narcolepsy 27.
Narcolepsy.
Dude, that's
You were talking about how people are always thinking about the previous era of their children, right? To be like, oh, I miss that era, right? None of us miss the era that the kids were in. Like, we see photos and we go, oh my gosh, they were so cute. We just looked at one. We're like cleaning out some drawers and stuff. We're like, oh, we found photos of the kids were like 2, and it's like, oh my god. But I think we don't miss them at that age. We miss our youth at that age and the years that. Here's what's crazy. Like, I had kids super late in life, so every year from my 30s and 40s, it was a running joke. Like, the years were the same. They go, hey, what are you doing for Christmas this year? Orphan Christmas. I'm going to be at somebody's house. We're going to get drunk. I'm probably going to get laid. Like, it's going to be that kind of Christmas. That was every year. So I never aged because every year was the same for me.
Yeah.
And now every year is like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My child is this much older and I can see it. Like,
yeah, once you have a kid, you have that time marker put on your life.
They are a marker on you to like, they were born when I was 50, and now I'm getting to an age where I'm like, every year I'm like, they're like adults. They're like adults, and all of a sudden it's marked my own life more so than it marks their life. It shows me how much I've aged since they were born. Whereas when I didn't,
it's like as soon as you have a kid, you drank from the wrong cup of Christ.
Yes,
and that's when you start to age.
He was a carpenter. It should have been a wood cup, obviously.
He chose poorly.
You have chosen poorly.
But that's what it's like. As soon as you have a child, that's when you feel like you're starting to age. At least I did, for me anyway.
I will say, Kaylor, I think it's also possible, and I promise you I'm not being shady. I do also think, like, because you were an older parent, that might be when I look at it's honestly, for me, I think it's the thing when I look at my kid as a 2-year-old, I'm actually not thinking about myself 5 years ago, because I'm roughly in the same era of my life. I'm 40 now. Yeah, but I was 35. I mean, 35 and 40, roughly the same. So for me, well, they are, because I was married at 30. So I'm in the same, I wasn't, you were partying up until the moment you got
35,
married.
40.
Yeah.
48.
Noted.
50.
Okay. I will tell you this, for a woman, 35, 40. Listen, the bottom line is, for me, I think I just forget. I think I feel guilty about how much I forget. Like, there's a video of my son when he was like 2 years old, and I completely forgot about his like debilitating speech impediment at the time, where he would and he's past it now. And I'm like, oh my God, I would actually love to have that speech impediment back. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's also, it could be like a man versus woman thing. But for whatever reason, like, yes, I definitely look at pictures of my kids. I'm like, wow, I was much fitter back in the day. But I don't feel like it's impending doom for me yet. I'll get there, I'm sure, age-wise. Jason muted himself to cough. Bless you.
I've been doing it this whole show.
None of my kids. It's so funny, Eddie. I mean, your son's so he's like a grown man now, and
He really is.
They're just
Pubes and everything.
You're like I look at Hannah, and she's like 9, but she's like an adult at this point, and it blows my mind, because I just remember this little pumpkin-headed kid.
Yeah.
Stumbling around doing stuff.
And once they hit 10, it's like that's everything accelerates growth wise. Like, it's great, at least for boys. Once he hit 10, everything just it went into light speed.
Yeah. This is really funny. So we had our last soccer weekend. This was this past weekend for AYSO, and Claire actually joined a club. She wanted to do it.
Wow.
How did it go?
Doing some traveling. She had 2 tryouts, and she made the team.
Great.
And so we're on this traveling club. She's 7 years old.
Yeah.
And I think we're eventually going to have to do some traveling for some tournaments. But I felt bad because I didn't want to do it, but I also didn't want to give her a shot at what she kind of is really good at and what she's doing. So it was this weird thing of like, it's a huge commitment, and we might end up traveling a bunch, but I'm like, so I don't know what's going to happen. It's like a year, but I had panic attack the other night about like, I signed up for this, we went for a couple tryouts. She made the team, and I was like, fuck, am I going to be driving to Bakersfield and staying in a Motel 6 Friday night?
You got Jamie. Don't even front. There's no way your wife would let you stay in a Motel 6, honey. You'll at least be in a Hilton. Let's be honest.
Well, listen, Motel 6 in Bakersfield is the Hilton. I don't know if you've been to Bakersfield lately. So Hannah's the opposite. Hannah's really good at soccer. We had a terrible playoff loss. It was gruesome. The one girl, like our best player on the team, had the flu, and she couldn't even. We were up 1-0, and we lost 2-0. We lost 2-1 in the last. It was like teardrop painful, but not to Hannah. Hannah got the 1 goal, and she pounded this fucking ball. I was like, it was a full volley, just pounded it. I was like, oh my God, it was one of the best goals I've seen all year. And then at the end, the coach was just, I'm assistant coach. He's the coach. He goes, he wanted to put his fist through a wall. He was so distraught. And he was like, we all had a good season, everybody. And listen, we all made good friends and we had a great year. And the most important question tonight is who still wants to play soccer next year? Every kid raises their hand, except for Hannah. Hannah keeps her hand down.
Hannah was like,
and he points to her and he goes, you don't want to play next year? And she goes, I'm thinking about leaving town. Those were the words out of her mouth. It was like she was like, I'm going to take my talents elsewhere. I'm done.
Honestly, I'm thinking about leaving town means she is absolutely heading into a career in show business.
So
that's the funniest line of the night.
The playoff game was 2-3. She gets 4 kids off that team get invited to try out for the All-Stars, the AYSO All-Stars. Hannah's one of them. And the All-Star tryouts start at 3. At 2:59, she says the words, thinking about leaving town, when the coach asks her if she wants to play next season. I have to take her, hold her hand, walk her across the field to where the All-Star tryouts are. So she's at All-Star tryouts. There's 1 billion kids. It's a train wreck. Every kid, I know every kid playing, and everyone's horrible. It's a mess. It's just a train wreck. And so I'm like, whatever. So I go move the car. I come back. I'm not really paying attention. At the end, it's 1 hour. It takes forever. I've been there all day. I want to go home. The coach comes up to me, one of the coaches of AYSO, and she goes, hey, are you Hannah's dad? I go, yeah. I go, what? And she goes, it's a quick question. Hannah, at the end of the tryouts, I go, does anybody have any questions? And Hannah went, hey, what if you don't really want to play on this team?
I'm obsessed with her. I'm sorry. I'm not on your side. I'm on Hannah's side.
The coach told me that. And I go, and so I'm dancing on ice. I go, she was probably worried she wasn't going to make it, and she might have, just tried to like soften the blow. I go, I don't know. I'm in shock. And Hannah's standing there. She's like, she didn't know the coach was going to rat her out.
She's like,
so
can I help you, Dad?
She feels super crappy. And so we go to walk away, and I go, Mom, I guess you're not making the All-Star team now. You kind of put that in stone there, Chief. I don't know what to tell you. And she starts sobbing. I'm holding. I had to carry her. I had to hold. She's like, I go. Listen, if you don't want to play, you don't have to play. But if you did, you should probably wait to hear if they invite you and then say, I don't want to play. But she already she burned the bridge. She's that chick who burns the bridge long before it even's built.
While she's on it, she's like, Monk. Yeah.
And she had already told me, this is my last season of soccer. I don't really want to play. I don't love it. It sucks too, because she's pretty good. She's a really good athlete. And she goes, I don't love soccer. She goes, you run around for 90 minutes and you barely touch the ball. Kind of a shitty sport. I go, honestly? Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's kind of and if anyone's watched the World Cup, it's a shitty sport. You can be the best player in the world, and all of a sudden there's a weird call that decides the fate of history. It's hard to watch. This weird call. It's just a terror. Honestly, and I played through college, and even I'm like, yeah, it's a terrible sport.
But she's also big into
this is the deepest conversation about soccer I've ever been part of.
But it broke my heart. I was like, oh my God. And I had to hold her that night. She was sobbing because she had asked that question.
It does sound like it's your fault she started crying, though. Did anyone else pick up on that? It does sound like when you were like, well, guess you're not going to make it now since you burned that bridge. It seemed like that was the moment she started getting upset.
Maybe.
No?
Maybe. I was so distraught. I didn't understand but here's the thing about kids, and Eddie, your son's older, you probably know better than I do, but they just say shit.
They're honest.
You're like, why would you say that? And you're like,
they say what they feel in the moment, and then they realize later on, oh, I shouldn't have said that. That's when I think that's the age where you start learning, I need to build a filter in my brain to let stuff out.
Listen, I don't have that filter. That's no one's ever been like, I wonder what Jamie's thinking ever in my life. And so I feel like I've created a Frankenstein monster. I can't stop.
There was a brief moment when there was a man smoking a cigarette in Niagara Falls. I was like, I wonder what that guy walking towards me is thinking. And then he put out a cigarette. And then he found out exactly what you were thinking.
He almost got slapped right out of his pink poncho.
I will tell you guys, you're all going to be at my funeral. It's going to be fantastic.
Stop
And you
with
guys are
the
going to have a great laugh. You're all going to have a good laugh and go, Kaylor, God damn that guy. He said whatever he wanted. Nobody stopped that guy.
This is a guy who, Eddie, you know this about Kaylor. This man references his own death every single time I hang out with him. I am so over talking about him dying before he's actually going to die.
You know what's interesting, Kate, about that is that when he calls me, he mostly talks about me dying.
Oh,
That's true. That's absolutely true. And
He
my
literally
buddy,
every time he's like, "Yeah, I mean, you don't have a lot of time left." Like he's giving me a complex that I am going to be gone soon.
by the
The
way,
Reaper's at your door.
Narcolepsy 27, please pull that. Can we please pull up Narcolepsy 27's last comment? Jamie putting the fun in funeral.
you know what's funny? Out of the history of music, one of my top 5 lines in history is "Bare Naked Ladies." I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral, don't understand, but you soon
What I
will.
mean, you soon will, yeah.
Yeah.
I also love that that was
always had
basically
that approach.
that was basically the same as you guessing the Urkel line.
Yeah.
It's the Bare Naked Ladies line where it says, "Did I do that?" No, Kaylor, that was what Urkel's. Come on,
Bunin,
dude.
my buddy Bunin on My Boys, he always gave me grief because I'm the guy who sings along with everything, and I'm off. I'm off just a little. I'm wrong. I'm wrong lyrics guy.
Yeah.
Are you that guy?
Oh,
It
it's
doesn't
me.
stick. It doesn't
me.
stick verbatim. It sticks.
The
Juxtaposed.
gist. The
Can we
gist
play
of
a
it.
game? Can we play a game real quick? The four of
Sure.
us. Okay. I had Sinead O'Connor's. I had Sirius XM on, and I was listening to the 90s station today. And Sinead O'Connor's "Nothing Compares." Is there anyone here who is not familiar with that song?
It's been 7 hours and 14 days. Is that even close?
I'll have to pull up the lyrics because I was singing along and I was like, "Oh, I thought I knew the song." Okay, so to everybody take a turn. I think I'll start. It's been 7 hours and I believe it's 15 days.
15 days.
And I kept saying, "Since you took my love away." It's actually "since you took your love away." Okay. Eddie, take it away.
That song? I don't know anything past what we just sang.
Oh, I think it's "I go out. I go out."
I'm worse with
Dancing.
lyrics than Kaylor. I think "Natural Woman," I thought forever was "You make me feel like a man or a woman." So I'm no good with lyrics.
He's right. And I think those were the original lyrics. "You make me feel like a man or a woman," I believe.
Don't get me with lyrics. I'm the worst.
That's antithesis of the premise of that song.
I know. You make me
Isn't
feel
it
like
funny
a man
when
or a
you do
woman.
like karaoke and then you see the real lyrics and you're like, wow, I had no idea
I
that's
got
what that
so
person was saying.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's been 17
Every night
hours.
and sleep all day.
I go out every night and sleep all day. Since you took your love away, I can do whatever I want. But there's a part, there's like a whole thing where it's like, "I went to the doctor and guess what he told me?
That's what he told me.
He said, girl, you better have fun already." I don't know.
I
Why do
don't
every
know.
time you say
Have
turn into Bill
fun or
Cosby?
you're gonna lose it. And
You're going to lose an egg.
my kids laugh at me because I have no problem making up lyrics. I just make up lyrics. I don't care.
I can't get over "you make me feel like a man."
You make me feel.
Feel like a man or a woman.
I cannot breathe. It's just so funny because it's the opposite of the song.
Could you make me feel? You make
Wait,
me
that's it.
feel
Narcolepsy
like
got, "Girl, you
a
better
man
have no
or a
fun."
woman.
Oh
You know what? I'm not sure those aren't the right words. They fit.
Works for me.
the real words.
But then why not just shorten and be like, you make me feel like a person? Like, what are we doing?
Listen,
Like whatever pronoun you want to call me.
That
Oh
song
my
was
God.
ahead of its time.
So much.
You make me feel like I'm not going to recover. I'm so
So,
man or a woman. I'm the king of bad lyrics. I say the wrong lyrics all the time. And movie quotes too. I'm the same. It's like, yeah, I'm always
Jamie,
off.
give us a quote from your favorite movie.
I know. I've got nothing. I always do it, but I'm
Give us
trying
an
to
Al Pacino quote. What does Al Pacino say in, let's say, Scarface?
You got your head all the way up in it.
I've got two things in this world.
I got two things.
Scarface? Anybody? My word and my bond. And I don't break my word and my balls? I already forget.
The only quote I have from Scarface is, her womb is so polluted, she can have no babies.
wait, Kate, what was your interaction with him?
Oh my God. He did Merchant of Venice with my best friend.
She can have no babies.
She can have no baby.
Her womb is so polluted, she can have no babies.
Yeah, he
beats the sweet Jesus out of him.
He did Merchant of Venice with my best friend from college, and I went to see. So they did Shakespeare in the Park, but then they moved it to the Roundabout Theater for a Broadway season, and so I went to see them, and it was like the wrap party, and it was at a round one bowling alley. There was some bowling alley in Manhattan that we went to, and my girlfriend Lily and I were together, and then Al came over and sat with us, and then she went to go, and I was like, oh no, it's just me and Al Pacino. Okay, all right, well, and I'm not the biggest Al Pacino fan. Like, I love The Godfather. I think Godfather 2 is where it's at, honestly. Like, I don't know what's like, but I was just sort of like, so because he's got little kids with Beverly D'Angelo, I believe. It's like, so are your kids excited about Christmas? He's like, yeah, they're kids.
Is that what Pacino? Back up. That's what Pacino said to you?
And I was like,
and you're in a bowling alley with Al Pacino.
Just at like a high top table, because Lily has abandoned, like Lily, who he has acted opposite of. She forgets that I'm a normal. I'm not.
Who is Lily?
Lily, my best friend from college. She's Lily Rabe. You guys, I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if she acted with Pacino, I'm sure we all know her.
I'm sure you do. You've definitely seen her in a billion.
And so she was with Pacino. She was like, "Hey, we're having a thing at a bowling alley," and Pacino's like,
"No,
yeah,
it was the rap party for their."
Sure, that sounds fun.
He's like, yeah, and so he happened to be there. He was. By the way, this was years and years ago. So he was already. I was like, this guy's kind of feeble. Like, I just felt like. Oh, it just almost felt like when you like.
He's always been that guy. Did you watch The Offer? Anybody on Paramount Plus?
All about the Godfather.
About the making of The Godfather.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted Pacino except for Coppola, because Coppola knew he was such an artistic actor.
Yeah.
And it's all in the face, and it's in this frame, and everyone kept calling him this midget / whatever.
I will tell you,
blows off, and everybody. I guess finally they're watching something, and all the women in the room are like, "That's the guy."
Yeah.
Isn't it weird? Because in real life, he's very small and not.
He's also got like, I mean, him in this play, was unbelievable. To see him in Merchant of Venice is like. I mean, I don't know that there's going to be an artistic experience in my life that will beat that, but he does have, I don't know how else to describe it, but like sort of ape arms. His arms are almost so long, they almost go past his knees. Yeah. So it's like a very strange, but he's playing Shylock, you know, it's like, you're just like, what?
He is Shylock. But when you watch him on screen, I mean, isn't it weird when you watch somebody on screen and they just blow, you're like, that's, I don't know what it is.
Tom Cruise, who's like, what, 5'2"? That guy's a star.
He's like 5. Yeah, he's
Oh, you're right. He's 5'2.5". I'm sorry. My mistake.
It is weird when you see people and they just blow. There's something about it. Just blow off camera. I know. Should watch The Offer, though. It's really great. It's about the making of The Godfather and how everybody gets kind of how they make it.
I gotta watch that.
It's really good. Really good.
Yeah, they're kids. Okay. Well, I think
They're
we're done here.
kids. Oh.
We're done here. I'm good here. I'm good.
Have you seen my 7-pound bowling ball?
Yeah.
Did he bowl?
To be clear,
My
he did
guess is
not bowl.
He did not bowl once.
He did not bowl, and he was probably just as mad as Lily just as mad at Lily as I was that she left us both. He was like, she left me with an imbecile. Like, I'm sure that's how he was feeling.
That's so funny.
So you didn't try to make any
play
other small, like you just quit there. You didn't try to make any
I was like,
small talk.
No, I don't. There was.
Just pulled the
Here's
ripcord.
the thing: if you put me at a high top with Nick Offerman, baby, we're gonna do bits on. I know Nick Offerman's. You put me at a high top with Taika Waititi. By the end of that thing, I'm blowing him. Okay, I don't know what to say to Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Okay, like
escalated quickly.
I'm just saying, like, I've seen a couple movies he's been like. There are definitely people that were better candidates to have that conversation than me.
He's arguably one of the greatest movie stars of all time. But
Of all time.
You do you. It's okay. You can name a handful of other people. It's Al Pacino.
No. What I'm saying is I'm not qualified to have that interview with him.
No,
You
you're
know
not.
what I'm saying? Like, I'm not.
You shouldn't have been allowed in the rest. You shouldn't have been allowed in the bowling alley.
I agree. Not to mention what I really wanted to be was like, so you used to date Lily's mom, huh? How'd that go? Like, that's what I know him from. It's like having.
Have you met any movie star types where you've been like just blown away, where you're like, they were the most famous people that I have this weird thing with fame where I just don't think it's so funny that everybody wants it, but it seems to me to not be the greatest thing ever.
I also, Lily had a party for her 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
We went to her house. This was pre-pandemic. I walk in with my, I don't know, 12, like my year-old kid with my 3-year-old kid, and the Beat Buds are playing. Everybody in LA knows the Beat Buds.
I've seen them 100 times.
100 times.
Yeah. Different versions of them, by the way. There's the whole franchise of them.
Yeah,
What is this?
It's just like a kid's band that goes to different birthday parties. You can spend $1,000 to have this band at your birthday party.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
it's actually a great party. They're great.
It's great. And then they're like, they give shakers to the kids and the kids can shake. But I will tell you that I have like my diaper bag on my shoulder. We walk in the door. Meryl Streep takes my bag, and then I panic and I just sit down immediately on the ground to watch the Beat Buds and look back later, and Meryl's still holding my bag like, is this bitch coming back to get it? And I was like, okay, I did not do the right things there. I know but I panicked. You guys. I just handed
Kind
it
of crazy
off
that you have this artistic soul that you want to pursue, and whether it's acting or music or whatever, and you want to be part of this, you want to make a living at it, and you want that to be your job. And I think some people really want fame, but I think for the most part, the true artist doesn't really want fame. They want to just be able to do their craft. But, it would suck to go to a party and be like, I'm Meryl Streep. Everybody is looking at me.
Yeah.
24/7. Like, you're not going to get away from it because you're Meryl Streep.
I think I respect Kate more for doing this.
Yeah.
For what? For ignoring her?
Yeah.
For treating her like a coat rack.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe at some level she appreciated it because you didn't put her in that place.
Yeah.
No.
You could give her grief and go, hey, a lot of good work, but the ABBA movie, come on, you're better than that.
I would tell you that there would be more to talk about, but she's a friend's mother also who went to school with us as well. So I'd met her before, but I just wasn't prepared that I was going to be walking in late to a party. There's a band playing. You want to be quiet. Someone grabs the bag for you. You're just like, well, I'm not engaging in that. And I just did all of the wrong things and just sat down and watched.
At least you didn't hang it over her head.
Yeah.
You know,
I
that would've
still
been worse.
sometimes I'm like, oh my God, because I still get caught up and like, oh my God, that's so and so. I do. And we're kind of in the business. Like, can you imagine if it's like they go to like normal town America and it's, you know, it's going to be hard to be that famous. I do think that kind of fame is fleeting in a way now because it's been so diluted. There's not
Because
going to
there's
be
so
a
much
Paul
content.
Newman or a Tom Cruise anymore. I think it's over.
I don't know.
It'll be different. It'll be different. Obviously, now
I think there's just more stars now.
There's more. Well, the word "star" has always been kind of used egregiously, but
Sure.
but
I don't know.
yeah. Now it's like there's huge stars who are YouTube influencers who have millions of followers, and I'm
And
like,
you've never heard of them.
Never
I've
heard
never-
of them.
yeah.
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 To their credit, I mean, it's an amazing accomplishment because nowadays, back in the old days, you needed approval and you needed a network and everything to kind of boost you up. But now people are like, I'll build this myself. I don't give a.
I met somebody the other day who had never heard of Dude Dad, and I was like, wait, so I was talking about one of his Thanksgiving videos, and they're like, who? And I was like, Dude Dad, he's a dad, he builds all these crazy, and like I tried to explain it to him, and they had no idea what I was talking about.
Well, he's pretty successful. But
Yeah,
there was some guy the other day I saw something of. I was like, who is this dude? And then I Googled him, and he had like 50 million followers. I was like,
And
oh,
it was
wow,
Eddie Pence. Woo!
was-
Can't believe we got you, Eddie.
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
Sports.
Thank
I
you.
very much appreciate you still take my texts.
Anytime. I ignore every third one.
Eddie, how's your dad Mike doing since
Uncle Mike.
Uncle
He's doing
Mike?
good.
Sorry, Uncle Mike.
Oh, Uncle Mike, he's doing good. Book just came out. He's doing well.
He's doing great. He's doing great. Is he gonna run? Whatever. Well, let's not talk politics.
He won't tell us.
Eddie, did you do you run in circles that make you panic? No, just me. Okay, thanks.
No,
guys.
I'm sort of an introvert by nature. So when
Yeah.
I'm just at parties with just like regular people, I freak out. Like they don't have to be famous. Like I literally don't know how to talk to human beings in a room. If I'm on stage with a microphone, I'm fine.
You're
So you
fine.
put me in a room with like 15 strangers and I have to mingle, I can't.
Yeah,
That's full panic attack for me.
that's so interesting.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're famous or not. It would help if they were famous because I at least have something to talk to them about.
Oh.
Taylor, you perceive that that's the same about you, but it is not. You can.
It is
you are-
absolutely. I have faked it for
Wait.
so long. It's not even true. My friend, I just ran into today. They're like, "Oh, you didn't go to so and so's birthday party." I go, "I'm antisocial. I didn't want to."
That
I
may be
didn't want to have a
true.
panic attack.
But Taylor, I gotta tell you, when you are out, you are the most gregarious. Like you will include any. I just. And by the way, you maybe don't enjoy it, but it doesn't mean that you don't do it.
No, I mean I can fake it too, but like inside, I'd rather just be home away from everybody.
Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah,
I'm good at faking it. Yeah.
I get a laugh. Oh wait,
Oh,
Sorry.
I bought a book.
I get a laugh reply from Eddie on IG every time. Man of the people, LOL.
well, it's either type ha 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 or just do the laugh emoji.
Yeah.
So just do the laugh emoji.
Cry laugh or just laugh?
Just
Wait,
laugh.
what?
I don't know
Oh.
if we're going cry laugh. I mean, cry laugh. That's you got to have some
Yeah,
standards.
no, that's fine. That's fine. Cool.
I mean, I actually have to laugh pretty hard to even consider it.
We never even got around to what everybody's doing. So Eddie, you are up north in San Francisco, up north for
Yeah.
us, up north and west for Jason. So it's actually chilly there.
It's like 46 at night.
That's nice.
It's
And
the
you're
winter.
actually in San Francisco. Like you're not
Right,
just
right above it, Novato, which is like across
Oh,
the bay
Novato.
from San Francisco.
okay.
Mhm.
When people always are like, I'm from the Bay Area. What does that mean? If they were from San Francisco, they would have said San Francisco, right?
Well, yeah, well, San Francisco's right there, and then you have the bay around it, and then there's all the landmass around the bay, which is like
Mhm.
Novato and Oakland and
I feel like-
Sausalito.
Sausalito, Santa Cruz a little far, or San Jose a little farther south.
I just feel like if you're from Oakland, you probably say Oakland. If you're from San Francisco, you probably say San Francisco. So anyone saying the Bay Area is basically saying, I'm not from one of the big cities.
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
I think so. Yeah.
It's lovely up there though. And then Kayla, you're going to a friend's. Jason?
We are going to my in-laws.
Oh, sorry.
No, you summed it up pretty well.
I feel like yeah. I knew some inside.
It was way more eloquent than I would have put it.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be great. I'm sure they're watching this show and it's just gonna be horrific.
I love that you think that they have ever watched this show.
The problem is we know that someone can watch it that will tell them, and that's where the trouble starts. That's the problem, Jason.
That has happened to me numerous times.
This is what I'm saying. I swear I'm like anyway, we're still in LA. We're gonna do just Friendsgiving. It's hard to travel unless you're going by car. If you're in LA.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fly at Thanksgiving time. That sounds like a nightmare. Especially with kids and all that. No.
Well, I have the kids. Well, I mean, what do I do tomorrow? It's just me and the kids.
I know. I'm having the same issue.
Do a hike.
I might take him to a shooting range.
Yeah. Came off weird.
Pennsylvania hits different.
Yeah. It's gonna go shooting.
That's a thing. I mean, that's a thing people do as a family here.
Sure, yeah, shoot.
That's cool.
Throw axes.
Was I convincing when I said it?
That's cool.
That's cool.
We don't.
Al Pacino would have appreciated
it. We go to a place where we just pour acid on something and let it melt. And, it's similar in the same vein where we're destroying something, but we're just not shooting it.
Do you know what I was actually thinking of doing with the kids tomorrow, Kayla? Was taking them to the pony rides at Griffith Park. You ever done that?
Oh, that's fun. I used to do that with my kid when he was little. I used to do that. Yeah.
Oh, Jamie. Okay, got it. Jamie wants to go to a shooting range with Jason.
Sorry.
For the audio listeners, Jamie's just trying to go to a shooting range with Jason. That's all. That's all that's happening.
I would love to go horseback riding. I have a friend who has horses who keeps inviting me up, so maybe I should.
Oh, Katie is saying
pony rides. The pony rides are kind of lame because it's like
pottery.
Pony.
Katie, send me details on that, please.
How about a hike? We do like the wisdom tree or something.
Oh, Griffith Park wisdom tree hike. That's fun.
Wisdom tree. Yeah.
We hike just in our neighborhood. We live right on that Burbank Hill, so that we
hook them up. We'll do DeBell up to the Castaway.
Yeah.
If we hike here in November, it's because our car broke down.
You what?
If we have to hike here in November, it's because our car broke down on the highway.
Let me tell you, then Dickie just went to his friend's wedding was in Baltimore, like the neighborhoods around Baltimore. They had an outdoor wedding in November. That's not normal. That's not normal brains, right?
November's in that area in the last 20 years have gotten more mild than when I was a kid and I grew up in that area.
It was literally the coldest day of the year so far.
Was it?
Yeah. Ooh. And by the way, the year included January, February, and March. So that's pretty dicey.
Maybe they didn't have any money. Maybe they were just broke ass.
Yeah.
Wow. Jamie. Are you speaking on behalf of the homeless man that you operated on with your children?
Maybe.
Are you an advocate now?
All right. Well, this is a Thanksgiving show. I feel like it's 8:15.
It was really fun, though.
It was really
actually
fun.
Any show with Eddie's
feel that Jamie wanted to leave.
I mean, you guys, you can stick around. I feel like I have to go. I have some stuff I have to do.
We also
smash some more apples.
Yeah, more apples to smash. Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to do. So tomorrow I'm going to take all the apples. I'm going to smash them like the Hulk and pulp them. And then I'm going to put them into the bourbon and let it infuse it.
Ooh, okay.
Is that crazy talk or is that something?
No,
I love that idea.
I don't know how that works. I'm sure it's great.
And add some lemon juice.
That's my favorite callback of the night.
And turkey is inside all of you. Yeah, it is.
You guys, do you want to know Narcolepsy's real name? I said it earlier.
No.
You don't? Okay.
No, I like him as Narcolepsy 27.
Okay. Because we're pals now, and I'll just
say yourself, Chief.
I'll give you a clue.
Well, I guess I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah. Eddie, thanks for coming back.
Eddie,
and
thank you
hanging.
so much. I'm sorry this was
Thanks for
sort
having
of-
me on. I had a blast.
Eddie, I'm going to hit you up next time. Actually, my husband just got into a pretty exciting program, so he's going to be gone every Saturday from now until March.
AA?
It's AA. It's AA. It's really
Very
exciting.
exciting.
We're so glad he got accepted. They actually do a test now to see if you're actually an alcoholic. So he passed. But no, I'll hit you up when we go to our next.
Hit me
party.
up.
Yeah.
I'm always up for it.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry, especially because you're trying to be on vacation with your family. That was nice of you
I
to
need a
join
break.
us.
Please,
Okay.
we helped him out. We gave him a break.
Yes.
With his
You
family.
gave me an hour and 15 reprieve.
Well, listen, once I sign off from the show, I'm going to tell my wife I was still on the show for 2 more hours. I'm just going to sit
Just
quietly.
sit here quietly.
And then you're gonna say, "Hey, sex is weird, right?"
I'm beside you.
Okay, let's get it straight. When you have, I mean, come on, listen. If you're sober, like sober sex is all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is kind of weird. This is weird. Two animals are like interacting and like catching the whole thing.
Concerned, he also doesn't
And
understand
there's
the
smells,
anatomy of
there's
it.
odd smells. The whole thing
Were
has
there,
odd
were there
smells around it.
mushrooms in the apple smashes? That's what I want to know. Were there mushrooms in the apple smashes?
Did
I
Trevor
think-
send you a package?
I can't say there weren't. I won't.
Oh,
I will not say there weren't.
I actually don't feel like I need this anymore. I'm sweating so much from laughing.
Ugh.
Sex can be weird, sure, but
You're telling me it's not like an odd situation to go like, hey, what's happening? We were just at work together, and you work at the desk next to me, and now a part of me is inside of you. You're telling me there's no odd. That's not odd. That's not like a weird thing at all.
It hasn't occurred. Like, I will tell you, I'm like, hey, this is years and years ago. Like, hey, I work with you, and now I'm gagging on you in a file closet. But like, it was par for the course. I don't know.
But even as it was happening, you must have understood. This is strange.
A moment of self-reflection in the moment of doing it.
You know, like,
I mean, maybe I'm
Wow.
just a glass half full kind of guy, but I actually enjoy the activity, Jamie. I never stopped to think that way.
oh, don't get me wrrong. I enjoy it very much. But
But
what I'm
even in the
saying is-
enjoyment, you're like, this is still pretty weird.
Are you ever just like pump, tap, tap, tap? Hey, this is weird, right? Okay, cool. Pump. I just get back into it.
No, I let it go. I just let it go. I let it go. And we all, I do think there's a certain sense of, not cosplay, but just play where you're like, there has to be some type of, where you just separate from your mind and go like, hey, we're here. Let's do this.
This is also a guy that's like, listen, the way Christmas worked for me between the ages of 15 and 42 was, I'm going to hang out with friends. I don't have parents anymore, and I'm going to get laid. It's weird, right?
Listen, Christmases were pretty great. I'm not going to lie to you back in the day.
No, it's just so funny
Is
that
there
in the
any-
same
listen,
breath, you're also
Before you had a family, was there anything better than an orphan Christmas?
I was never orphaned, unfortunately.
You never went to an orphan Christmas?
No, because I was still, I was still like under the wing. Like, I don't know. I was lucky. I had 2 parents in the Midwest who were like, if you can't fly
I'm
back.
not saying dead parent orphan, you ding dong. I'm saying.
Oh, I was sure you were, because your parents are dead.
Well, now they are.
Oh, wow. Okay, well,
let's
it's very dark. Thank you.
It's an orphan Christmas is what they do for people who don't have anywhere to go to. They just call it an orphan Christmas, and then
Yeah, they're single and they're at a Christmas
it's a
party.
bunch of
Everybody's-
single people from the bar who just
Orphan
went and
Christmas?
said, "Hey, yeah,
I mean,
Why do they
don't
call it
exclude the dead
Friendsgiving?
parent
Oh,
folk.
Friendsgiving, but orphan fucking Christmas. It's so dark. My take on it was way more realistic because Kayla's parents are dead.
I'd love to watch Annie with you." Oh, this is sad. She didn't have any parents.
Oh, God. Big Daddy Warbucks is going to do some weird shit. That guy's
Don't
a
drink
creeper.
that, Annie. Don't drink that.
Don't drink it, Annie.
I
it's just a
think
movie.
I'm gonna like it here.
Orphan Christmas was great. You just showed up with a bottle of liquor and somebody put together like green beans and some turkey and off you went. It was pretty great. I can't be the only one. Everybody out there, please. Am I the only one? Orphan Christmases were fantastic.
Eddie knew what it was.
I had never heard him called that, but I've
never
been
heard it
to
called
a similar
Eddie knew.
thing.
Yeah. When you're single, people go, hey, what are you doing for Christmas? And you're like, nothing. I was going to order Chinese food and watch Law and Order marathon. And people are like, oh, no, you got to come over to my house. We're having a bunch of people over. And they go, yeah, all right, whatever. Then you go, can I bring anything? And they go, no, just bring a bottle of wine. You go, all right. And you bring a bottle of wine and then you hang out. And
Just bring a bottle of wine in your sex drive.
And everybody ends up naked in the jacuzzi. Am I crazy? Did you guys miss out on the
Can
greatest?
I tell you something? It maybe was just that the West Coast for me was a lot closer to the Midwest, which is where I'm from. So maybe the flight to New Hampshire was just too much for you. I don't know what to tell you, but I always went home for Christmas.
Never.
Wow.
I mean, I
You
did.
loved
I did
that.
sometimes. Here's what we would do though, because Christmas was when you're bartending, you make all your money then. January's dead. So what I would do is I would work through Christmas and then I would leave in January and go out and go home.
Okay.
But and also Christmas in the bar, it was gold. It was gold.
Huh.
It was the best. I would open and they would go, hey, we're going to be closed. We go, we should open. I'd open on Christmas Day. I'd bartend Christmas night and have like 20 orphans come down and we would just hang out in the bar. It was like the greatest. One time, this is crazy. I was flying home. I was supposed to go home. It was like, I don't know, it was a couple days after Christmas or something. And I went to the airport, got on the plane, and they said, somebody stood in the front and said, hey, $1,500 in vouchers if you get off this plane. And there was a fight. It was like Hunger Games trying to get to the front of the plane. And I was like, and I climbed over everybody. And I had left the bar. I took a cab from the bar to get to the airport. And my friends were like, see you later. I hugged them all goodbye. And I went to the airport. I got on the plane. I got the $1,500 voucher. I got off the plane. I got in a cab. I went straight back to the bar with my luggage to O'Brien's. And I walked in. Everyone was like, hey! Greatest Christmas I ever had.
You're like, this is an orphan Christmas. Just to be clear, my parents aren't dead yet. I'm sure that this is going to cause confusion at some point. When I say orphan Christmas,
they put me on a flight the next day. So I had a flight like at 4:00 the next day. So I went straight back to the bar and I hung with all my friends in the bar and we had the greatest Christmas of all time. And then
that
the
does
next
sound
day,
really sweet.
I got on a flight and flew home at 4 in the afternoon.
This, by the way, Narcolepsy 27 makes a really great point. This is a movie, Cast Him Now. It is like a great Christmas
Orphan
movie.
Christmas.
Actually, you know what?
Orphan Christmas would be a great movie.
It would be Love Actually. It would have it would be a question mark at the end. It would be a very simple rewrite.
Oh, no, we're actually pitching the movie Orphan Christmas.
I know. I'm in.
Okay, Nick.
I'm in. Well, there's the horror film, The Orphan, and then with The Orphan Christmas.
The best. We talked about this last time.
It's a little different than I think we were going with.
I mean, everyone dies at the end. I feel like am I?
Yeah,
on
of course.
a different page?
Okay, so we're
No,
back
they
to
should
my
have. They should.
interpretation of
They
Orphan.
should.
Okay.
As
Great.
long as at some point while
A
you're
lot of
nailing
levels
somebody
to
in the
it.
movie, you stop to ask them if it's weird that they're inside of them.
I mean, you've never thought that, Mulligan, for once? At some point, you've never thought for 1 second while you're having sex with a guy?
Not
You've
during
never
No,
sat there.
I've had the thought, man, this dare wasn't worth it. But other than that,
It hasn't happened yet, but thanks to this horse shit, I'm probably going to now.
You've never thought to yourself,
Eddie, back me up. Have you ever felt like this is weird?
Not during the moment.
Yeah.
Like if I'm sitting alone thinking about like, well, that sex is weird.
Yeah, of course.
but not during the moment.
no, in
Not
the
like-
moment. That's
Not in the
because
moment.
That's not how you positioned it, though. You acted like it was mid.
You were having an existential crisis
Yes.
during coitus.
listen, I'm trust me, I'm not thinking about much during that moment. I'm lost. Listen, it's called the fog of war for a reason. It's just a blur, and people get killed, and that's what happens. It's a gruesome thing. Hey, I'm usually thinking, hey, this is great.
That's sort of,
I think that way too. I think it's great. It's great. It's
It's
great.
just weird at the same time.
Just weird.
It's just weird.
It's so weird.
I will tell you, probably the closest I can get to understanding this is when I will have to explain it to my boys what it is, because like explaining is like, so they take their and then they're gonna, oh yeah, that's weird.
It's more when you're sober. I think the old bit used to be about when you're sober. It was a bit I did years and years ago about like the first time you have sex when you're sober.
Okay.
And then for some reason you're like, oh, this is weird.
So if you don't even remember your bit, it probably wasn't your best one.
No, it wasn't. It was not. And I think people booed. I remember people throwing stuff at me. It got ugly. And I remember thinking then, like, this is weird. Like the whole thing got weird. Isn't life weird in its own?
Yes.
Mhm.
For that I can back you up.
I feel like this is the best podcast we've ever done.
I would
This
agree
is
with
weird.
that.
This
It's
whole-
my
this
favorite
has
one
been
we've
weird.
ever done.
This is all
Don't
weird.
you guys feel like sometimes, don't you go like,
We just need Eddie Pence with us all the time.
You know,
Yes.
This is weird.
people have existential questions about like, where do we come from? Where are we going? What's happening here? But I always, in the moment, I'm always like, this is weird. It's all just weird. Isn't this just weird? It's happening. We're doing a show. Isn't that just weird? It's weird.
It
Whole
is
thing's
weird.
Yeah.
You guys join us next week when Jamie has some cinnamon smashers. That's right. He's just going to take a bunch of cinnamon and nutmeg and huff it. Join us. We can't wait to see you all. Thank you.
All right. I agree with the mulligan. I think that's a wrap. And hey, seriously, Eddie, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. That was
He
fun.
called me. He's like,
Weird,
hey,
but
Eddie's
fun.
doing the show. I go, oh, then why am I doing the show? I feel like Eddie fills my spot better than I do.
No.
Wow. The way
no, you were
that
in
had
a-
a double entendre.
You were in a
was
special
amazing.
place tonight, my friend.
I'm always in a special place, man. I'm hanging on by a thread, brother. I told you the soccer stories from the weekend. I don't know.
You're gonna be on a snowy bridge in 20 minutes, going, "I want to live again, Clarence."
I'm making Mary.
I
I'll lasso the moon for you, Mary.
You guys,
You're a
I
real
don't
old
want
man,
to.
Mr. Potter.
I don't want to.
Hey,
I don't want to break the fun of this, but I just want to say, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I am so grateful for each of you who makes me feel like a man or a woman. I couldn't get through it. I'm sorry. I tried. Let me try it again.
You make
I'm
me
sorry to
feel-
break the mood, you guys. I know we were having fun, but in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I just want to say I'm so grateful to all of you because you make me feel like a man or a woman. Thank you.
That was better sell.
So good. Pacino would have been proud.
Oh, do it as Pacino. You
Ooh.
make me feel. Wow.
Hey, do you feel like a man or a woman? Yeah, I'm a man or a woman.
Jackpot. We got jackpot. You got your head way up in. His problem is that Eddie's normally used to Ralph Garman, who destroys. He does it great, but
Yeah.
The good Pacino.
Well,
Um,
sorry, I even attempted.
Very close.
Eddie, really quick, people can find you on the Ralph Report.
Patreon.com, The Ralph Report, or just check me out on eddiepence.com. That's all my other stuff on it.
Pretty good stuff. Kate Mulligan, no one's gonna find you.
Yep,
Jason,
thank you.
Jason has 2 kids who are sick, and it sounds like it's going to be a horrible Thanksgiving.
Oh.
And Jamie's dying soon. So that's a wrap.
Yes.
Thank you.
I wish I'd not.
Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
I'm going to be around for a long time. Be sure to subscribe if you can. Follow each of us
Jamie, the thing
individually.
that needs to
Literally
happen is
just did it.
you need to post the recipe for the apple smashers in the description of
Oh,
this on
it's really
YouTube.
good. Really quick. It's bourbon, just a smidge of honey.
That was obvious.
Muddled apples. You got to muddle them. Then apple cider,
bourbon.
little lemon juice, a little more bourbon wouldn't hurt anybody. And then nutmeg, and then cinnamon stick. Swirl it with a cinnamon
And
stick.
then at the very end, you
Cap
just
it off
put
with more bourbon.
in. And you actually just take a colander and you drain out everything that's not the bourbon. And then you drink
Colander,
it.
please. Is it you do the thing? One of those things. You know what they're called.
You know,
I do.
the choo-choo thing.
A
Shaker.
ch-ch-ch. A
There you
giant
go.
penis. Got it. Got it.
Always blue. Mulligan blue.
Really?
Mulligan blue.
You okay?
Thank you to everybody for paying attention this evening, and everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Honestly, I know we have a few days off with our kids, and it's a running gag that it's the parents' lounge, and we laugh about the perils of parenting and the horrors of it all. But have a great Thanksgiving. I think.
Yes, absolutely. Travel safe, everyone.
Good night, everybody.